Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Hall County Sports Television. I am your host, Gary Glenn. We're going to start our show this week with football and another outstanding football season for the Gainesville Red Elephants. A Final Four appearance this season, a 12-game winning streak between their only two losses, an opening loss to Buford, who, as you know, came within an eyelash of becoming the first 5-time straight ever state football champions, losing to Calhoun, another undefeated team, in overtime. And the season-ending loss to Burke County for the Elephants. And, of course, Burke won it all this past weekend. And we bring to the show now Coach Bruce Miller. And first of all, Bruce, thanks for playing in pain today. I know you got some surgery coming up. By the way, good luck with that.
Thanks.
Let's talk about the season, though. As I said, between the opening loss and the closing loss, 12 straight wins. When did you know we got a good football team this year?
I think I kind of suspected it after our North Hall game. I kind of suspected it, but you just didn't know quite for sure if everything was there. And then as the year went on, we were able to the offense gelled, the defense gelled, our kicking game got better, and you could see the kids want to improve from week to week to week. And I think the game that really brought it maybe was the Monroe area game when we were tied at halftime 21-21, and we came out and won it 41-21. Yeah. And I think that kind of said, hey, and you still wonder as you go along, how good are we? But our kids played so good and they played so hard, and it was a tribute just to watch them improve.
Unless you win it all, of course, you're always going to go back and look at it. But it's got to be a point of pride, as I alluded in my opening there. The only two losses you had were two of the best football teams in the state. Period.
Well, that's true, and and I thought going in we had a chance to say the only two losses we had were against state champions, but Calhoun had something to do with that, and Burke County certainly took care of business in the dome last Saturday. Burke County is just big, physical, strong, a lot like Buford. Come right at you, and but those are the two games we lost, but we were 12-2, and we played 14 games. And if you'd told me before the season that we were going to play 14 games, I think I'd have probably doubted you a little bit. But I think that's a tribute to our coaches and our kids that they didn't doubt; they just kept playing and kept exceeding things.
Well, you'll be literally in some new ball games next season. Region realignment. First of all, let me get your impressions of that.
Well, there's not a whole lot to say about it. I mean, your numbers put you where you are. This year the state decided to take your 9th through 11th graders enrollment instead of your 12th grader enrollment, or 9 through 12. So we've got about 550 9th graders and 200-something seniors. So that put us in a totally different classification. We're going to be in there with Flowery Branch. That rivalry comes back. But we're playing some teams that we have not played in a long, long time, especially since I've been at Gainesville. So we're talking about a 10-year period. But we're looking forward to it. We're looking at it as a challenge, and I'm sure our players and coaches will take it as a challenge.
We've got new Flowery Branch head coach Chris Griffin on later in the show. I know you and he said are looking forward to renewing that rivalry at least. All right. Individually wise, team wise, what you got coming back, Coach? Of course, you got your great quarterback, Deshaun Watson, who I said, if you see him on the football field, he looks so mature. And then when he takes his helmet off, he's got that baby face, and he looks like a 15-year-old kid. But you got him and a lot of others coming back. And additional ones, you graduated some great seniors too. We
graduated some great seniors, but to me, that shows you that our program may be progressing because you graduate some, but you also fill in some. From underclassmen, and I think that's the sign that hey, you may be getting a program where it's kind of feeding itself. So we'll just have to see next year how everybody steps up. But we're excited about the change. I haven't heard anybody disgruntled about it, and we'll be playing some different folks, but we're looking forward to it.
All right, Bruce, thanks for coming in. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas to you and your family. All right, Bruce Miller, head coach of the Gainesville Red Elephants. Now, before we leave this football segment, we're going to say congratulations to East Hall. They placed 3 on the Region 8AA All-Region Football First Team. They're all seniors. On the offense, running back Jamon Witt, the great senior running back they had over there, and blocking the way for him, C.J. White on the offensive line. And on defense, the Vikings placed defensive tackle Jeffrey Howard on the All-Region First Team. We'll take you to the mat when we return. If you're tired of paying high prices, go on down and visit the good folks at Dave's Goodie Barn. The buyers for the store travel the globe, searching for the greatest deals so the savings can be passed along to you. They purchase from insurance companies due to fires, floods, and other natural disasters. Most of this merchandise is in near perfect condition. So if you're tired of paying high prices, hurry on down to Dave's Goodie Barn or visit their website at davesgoodiebarn.com. What's there today may be gone tomorrow. Finally, a real gym in town for everybody. From folks just wanting to get in shape to world-class powerlifters and bodybuilders. Iron Beast Barbell features elite trainers from MMA, strongman, general fitness and weight loss, to cross-training, sports-specific, wrestling, even professional sports massage and wellness. Iron Beast Barbell, a 12,000 square foot facility with 24/7 access and no contracts. Home of the national champion Georgia Iron Dogs and national level bodybuilder Cheryl Cook. Voted Gym of the Month by bodybuilding.com. Iron Beast Barbell, located in the Gainesville Market Center behind Arby's and Chick-fil-A, 622 Shallowford Road, Gainesville. This program is also brought to you by Long Street Cafe, now with 2 locations in Gainesville, 1043 Riverside Terrace and 405 Pearl Nicks Parkway. Open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Monday through Saturday. Longstreet's got the reputation for Gainesville's fastest drive-thru and the best fried chicken you'll ever sink your teeth into. Plus veggies, a full salad bar, and great desserts. Check today's menu at www.longstreetcafe.com. Call a friend and meet them for a hearty meal at Longstreet Cafe, where they put the home in the cooking. Welcome back to this week's show, everybody. I'm Gary Glennon. This is Hall County Sports. This is our segment for wrestling. At the recent, very prestigious Panther Invitational Tournament, the Panther year after year attracts some of the top teams in all classes. Flowery Branch, with their new head coach, Shane Millwood, who used to wrestle for Johnson, by the way, finished in the top 10. They finished 7th, in fact, led by the lighter weight class's most outstanding wrestler, 132-pound Nick Langford. We visited with Millwood earlier this week at the Branch and talked with him about this year's Matt Falcons. We're in the Flowery Branch Wrestling Room now with Coach Shane Millwood. And Shane, first of all, I want to congratulate you on the top 10 finish at the Panther. And also, you had another top 10 finish this past weekend, true?
Yes, sir. 6th at the Brookwood Christmas tournament.
How did you do individually?
At 132, we have a freshman, Zach Winter. He placed 4th. Nick Langford, one of our seniors, placed 1st at the 138-pound weight class. Then we had a freshman place 4th. He lost by 1 point to a defending state champion from Lovett at 195, Grant Simons, and our heavy walked away with 3rd. So pretty good overall. Took 6th out of 22 teams. Not bad. Not bad.
Not bad. How do you feel overall about the way you're wrestling this year?
Well, out of 32 kids, we probably got about 22 freshmen, sophomores. They're where they make up for youth, they make up in experience. We had a really good summer. Probably wrestled about 45 dual meets for each kid this summer. So those freshmen are coming in with sophomore experience, and it's really starting to pay off here where we're trying to peak right here at midseason.
Now, you've taken over for another Shane, Lancaster. Of course, he's decided he wants to spend some more family time and work some more on his education, so he's one of your assistant coaches. Now, what's it like being the head guy?
There's a lot more behind-the-scenes stuff that, you don't really get into as an assistant as far as, filing up the paperwork and the weight loss plans. Those are kind of things that you don't really have to worry about as an assistant, but as the head man, you take on the responsibility for those 32 kids to keep them where they want to be throughout the season. So it's a pretty good little job in itself, keeping up with that.
Well, we had Nick Langford on last week's show talking about winning the Panther at 132. He's the kind of guy you kind of move around between those weight classes right now?
Well, he fluctuates from 132 and 138. We're probably going to drop him to 126.
Really?
That's if we'll kind of look at. It'd be good to have him and Zach Winter, our sophomore, who's wrestling phenomenally right now, to fluctuate for those dual meet tournaments. Area duels. It'd be good to have them both there. But I mean, as far as competition at 132, he's pretty steady right now. I think he's about 18-0 right now, so he's wrestling great.
All right. What are the hopes for this team now? It's a fairly young team, isn't it, Shane?
Yeah, it's young. I mean, like I said, about 32 kids. We got about 22 freshmen, sophomore. We only have 2 seniors. But, I mean, the goals here are always the same every year: win Hall County and vie for that top 2 at area to go to state.
Pretty good competition this year in Hall County, so people are really coming on wrestling well.
That's all right. Chesty's got a great team this year. So does North Hall, and Johnson just, they took 3rd at the Meadow Creek duels. So everybody's wrestling quite well. I just hope we're right there in the thick of things toward the end.
What you got coming up next week or so?
Well, this weekend we're going to wrestle with the Eric Hill in Loganville 26-team tournament. It's going to be 2 days. It's going to be everybody from our region will be there, so it'll be some top-notch 5A teams there too. So it'll be tough. See where we're at.
All right, Shane Millwood. Congratulations on a good start and good luck to the branch.
Thanks, sir.
In other wrestling action, North Hall was led by a first-place finish by Tyler Kratzer at 138 pounds and seconds from Alan Kettleman at 195 and Taylor Merritt at 106 as the Trojans took 3rd place out of 13 schools at the Creekview Invitational Tournament. Gilmer won the meet with Lambert second. Cam Howell at 220 placed 3rd, while Scott Talley at 182 and Tyler Goss at 126 and Matthew Scavuzzo at 145 all finished 4th for the Trojans. Dylan Brock won the tournament at 195 pounds for Chestatee, and they took 5th as a team. Austin Donaldson and Cody Etris finished 3rd for the War Eagles. Taylor Wright and Malik Wesley were each 4th for Chestatee. Early in the week, Chestatee's War Eagles dominated Lanier with 9 team pins and a 69-12 win. We're back with a new head football man at the branch after these timeouts.
Hi, I'm Rob Bruce. I'm the pastor at McEver Road United Methodist Church. Christmas isn't here yet. As you can see, we've still got it packed away here at the church, as I'm sure you do in your house. But you know that it's on its way. And the funny thing is that we notice, and you probably have friends or maybe yourself suffer from Christmas blues at this time of the year. In fact, if you run a Google search on the term Christmas depression, you'll get over 45 million hits. There's a famous theologian that theorizes the reason for this is that we are so attached to Christmas as a child with feelings of belonging and feelings of fun that when we don't have those as adults that we become depressed. In fact, he goes on to say that the stories of Scrooge and the Grinch actually tell the story of what happens to us now as adults really better than almost the Bible. Not exactly, but almost. Well, in light of that, if you're feeling a little bit blue this Christmas, we're inviting you to come to our church, McEver Road United Methodist, and participate with us in an Advent sermon series from November 27th till Christmas Eve. The series will be on dealing with Christmas depression as seen through the eyes of the Grinch when it's laid next to the Christmas story. And that'll be at all 3 services, November 27th through Christmas Eve. The title of the series is Somehow or Other, It Came Just the Same. And somehow or other, these decorations will be in the church then. Why don't you come and see?
Proper maintenance is vital to the life of your car. Let the experts at Mountain View Auto Repair take care of all your vehicle needs. Owner Danny Hammock has over 50 years of experience in the automotive business and has earned a reputation of being honest and fair with his customers.
We try to treat everybody like I want to be treated. That works out pretty good, and try to keep our price as low as possible to keep people coming in and give them a good price for their money. We do whatever turns up on a car, any kind of work, any kind of car, just it don't really matter. We do it all. People say, when are you going to quit and retire? I say, probably never. As long as the Lord let me work, I'll probably be here working.
I've been trading with Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair for about 20 years. I've always been very happy with his work. It's very easy for me to talk with him. He doesn't talk down to me. He explains it in a manner that I can understand.
Most of my customers are like friends here. I've known them so long, and I count them as, most all of them as friends to me.
Remember, when you want honest, reliable service, put Mountain View Auto Repair under your hood.
There are hundreds of options when choosing apparel or promotional items at J. Geyer Advertising and the Trophy Case. We're all about quality and competitive pricing. Sports items are in stock. Look for special pricing on Letterman jackets, corporate apparel, corporate gifts, and custom embroidery. All local high schools should check out the line of spirit wear and trophies. We're also offering custom screen printing available for any team sport. Be on the winning side when you choose J. Geyer Advertising and the Trophy Case, locally owned and operated at 250 Dawsonville Highway, Gainesville. Call 770-718-0062 or on the web at jgeyer.com and trophycaseltd.com.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Gary Glenn, and this is Hall County Sports. As we told you last week, Flowery Branch head football coach Lee Shaw, the only one the Falcons have ever had, resigned to become head football coach and athletic director back in Rabun County, where he graduated in 1985. He's also a former Rabun assistant as well as an alumnus. After losing record with the Falcons his first 3 years, they had an impressive run with 7 straight playoff appearances, reaching the AAA championship game in the Dome in 2008, Final Four in 2009, and the 4A quarterfinals this year. Branch moved quickly to replace Shaw, elevating the man he'd endorsed, defensive coordinator Chris Griffin, to the head job. Griffin has also been at the Branch with Shaw since it opened. We'd asked Coach Shaw to be on with us, but he's right now, as you might imagine, taking care of some business up in Rabun County, introducing some of his staff even as we speak here, and he says, I'm on a day-to-day schedule, it seems. Now, we can understand that, but we do have Chris Griffin joining us now. Chris, I remember, we used to talk to you when you were the head soccer coach over at Flowery Branch, in addition to being an assistant football coach, but now you're the head guy. Have you got used to that yet?
Not yet. A lot of things I'm learning every day that I never knew existed, and issues you got to deal with that Coach Shaw protected us from as being an assistant. So I'm learning stuff every day. Seems like every minute, in fact.
What did Lee Shaw mean to everybody over there at the Branch?
Well, like you said already, he's the only guy we've ever had. I'd never met the guy until he actually hired me. First time I ever saw him face to face was in our first staff meeting way back, I guess, the spring before we opened up. But again, in the 10 years that he was with us, the guy was not only a great football coach, but he's a great man. And there's no doubt the impact he had on the kids that's come through there is remarkable. Even this year, we've had kids come back from the first year and the early years, and they it's just neat to see from the beginning to the end, just the relationships that he built, and not just football stuff, but off the field, and building the character and the just teaching them how to be men.
And obviously you want to keep that kind of thing going. Tough in the early years, and then the success that seemed to come your way, and now you've got to go into a whole different ballgame. Not only as the head coach, but a whole different region realignment. Although some of the people that you've played, you're going to play again,
right?
And you've seen before.
Correct. Yeah, it's going back. We opened up. We were AAA, and a very small AAA school, in fact. And I think our opening year we had right at 700 students in the whole school. In fact, we only had 2 seniors on the first team, and so. You look at those early years, it was tough, but now we're fixing to go into 5A, one of the bigger schools in the state, and it's quite a challenge. But looking back at the whole experience, it's just been very neat. I'm counted a privilege to be able to be a part of the growth and the transformation to. So we feel like a very successsul program. What
can we expect differently from a Chris Griffin coach team versus a Lee Shaw team?
That's a good question. I've been asked that a lot past week. In a lot of ways, not a lot. I think from the outside looking in, you're probably not going to notice a whole lot. The guys that are in the program right now, they know who I am. They know that I'm very similar to Coach Shaw. That's one of the big reasons why I've stuck around. A lot of the staff has come and gone, and I just felt like he and I believed in a lot of the same things, and I've had the opportunities to move on, and just I fell in love with the place and kind of took a lot of ownership on it myself, even as an assistant coach. And not a lot of things are going to change. I'm still going to treat the kids just like Coach Shaw did, the same way. We're going to expect high character kids, good students in the classroom, and those are a lot of the same things that Coach Shaw did.
And it's interesting because you've been in charge of the defense, but we might see a little change on the defense because you're going to have a new head guy there. Yep. At least we know that.
That's right. Felix Curry, who came on with us last year, he was our secondary coach last year, and I promoted him to defense coordinator, and he's got a lot of success going back. He's been coaching about as long as I have. And he's been at some different places. He's actually been a defense coordinator in the Dome before. Actually, I'm not sure if it was in the Dome, but in the state championship.
State championship, yeah.
And he's got a lot of knowledge, and he's a different guy as well. He's going to coach it from the secondary. I was kind of a box type guy, concentrating on the front, and he's going to be able to do it from kind of the back forward. So he's got some neat ideas, and I've been real impressed with how some of the new ideas that he wants to kind of bring to the table, and it's going to be fun to see how that kind of evolves. It's going to be different for me because I'm going to want to kind of get in there and keep my hands in it, but I'm going to have to. It's going to be a big adjustment to try to keep my hands off of it, and we're just going to see what happens.
Chris, thanks for coming in.
Absolutely.
All right, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you and your family, and good luck at the ranch. And I'm sure we'll be seeing you again sometime soon.
Sounds good.
All right. Chris Griffin, the head man at Flowery Branch High School, will take you to the mat when we return.
Hi, I'm Rob Bruce. I'm the new pastor here at McEver Road United Methodist Church. And one of the things I've noticed here in Hall County is the number of churches that are here, and that is a great blessing. But it can also be a problem if you're trying to find a new church or you're investigating Christianity for the first time. There's so many churches and it seems like there's so little time. Well, we invite you to be our guest at McEver Road United Methodist. We will not give you a high-pressure approach. You can come in, make up your own mind at one of 3 of our worship services. We have 3 diverse worship services, one at 8:30, which is a gospel format service. We have a 10 o'clock service, which is not contemporary, but it's something more edgy and different, and we'd like to invite you to that if that's your style. And then at 11 o'clock, we have a traditional Methodist service. So we'd love for you to come be our guest and come and see.
There are moments in life that you wish would last forever. Dreams that really do come true. Treasures worth protecting. And a future to prepare for. Turner Wood & Smith is with you every step of the way. Established in the Gainesville area in 1905. Turner Wood & Smith has become Northeast Georgia's largest independent insurance agency by offering professional service at competitive prices. Turner Wood & Smith, insuring your future since 1905.
Lancaster Music, Northeast Georgia's authorized dealer for Yamaha musical instruments, has a huge selection of consoles, studio, and grand pianos in all sizes and finishes. Check out the Yamaha Disclavier self-playing piano and award-winning Clavinova digital pianos that never need tuning. For gifts to delight any musician, Lancaster Music has keyboards, band and orchestra instruments, guitars, music books, and accessories. Lancaster Music, a musical tradition since 1949.
Hall County Sports is brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals. And remember, when you go Green Ford. By Mountain View Auto Repair, a full-service shop for all of your automotive needs. Call Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair at 770-535-7278. And by McEver Road United Methodist Church. Visit us on McEver Road in Oakwood with 3 worship services every Sunday morning, Kids Town and adult small groups. McEver Road United Methodist Church is dedicated to transforming the world through the good news of Jesus Christ. We're back, and we begin this week's wrap-up with basketball from last week. East Hall survived Gainesville 90-84 on the boys' side. J.C. Hampton had 39 points for the Vikings, while Brian Edwards had 23, including 6 for 7 from the stripe. The boys completed the sweep started by the East Hall girls as the Lady Vikes won 45-23, even without Coach Joey Ryder, who was at home with the flu for that game. Jasmine Jenkins of East led all scoring with 12 points. And the Vikings also, the Lady Vikings later in the week, outlasted the North Hall Lady Trojans due in large part to a 17-for-21 free throw night. Final was 53-45 as Jasmine Jenkins scored 29 points. North Hall boys won 68-54. Amin Aziz had 13 for the Trojans, one of 5 players in double figures. J.C. Hampton and Brian Edwards had 14 each for East Hall. Hampton's three-pointer, by the way, early in the game put him over 1,000 points for his career. Trojans also swept Johnson last week. Ethan Smith led the boys in a 70-57 win. Johnson's Matt Hollis led everybody with 22. Sarah Pascal had a double-double with 18 points and 10 rebounds to lead the Trojan girls 76-43. Early in the week, there were quite a few individual milestones as the Johnson boys knocked off Jefferson 79-69. The Knights' Matt Hollis became the 9th player in school history to pass 1,000 career points halfway through the first quarter on his way to scoring 32 on the night. Johnson's Montrell McKenzie ruled the paint that night and had his first career triple-double with 12 points, 15 rebounds, and 10 blocks. Ty Odom put up a double-double for the Knights with 10 points and 10 boards. Lakeview Academy boys basketball team picked up its third win of the year, 70-56 over George Walton in Monroe. Austin Montgomery scored 17 points to lead the Lions. Riverside got its first win of the season as the Eagles' Adrian Humphrey scored 19 points and grabbed 4 steals in a 61-21 win at Tallulah Falls High School. Other winners last week, West Hall boys 57-53 over Mountain View. A.J. Stevens with 20 for the Spartans. Chester T girls beat up on 50-39. Aaron Clifford with the Lady War Eagles lead, 14 points and 5 boards for her that night. Gainesville's boys Shaquan Cantrell scored 25 points and snatched 9 rebounds in a 68-45 win over Oconee County. By the way, Gainesville boys, watch out for them. They're getting their football players in basketball shape now. All right, time now to name our athletes of the week. For the females, Jasmine Jenkins of East Hall basketball, picking up where she left off last season for the Lady Vikings, who began this week ranked number 8 and undefeated. For the males, well, co-winners this week, both wrestlers, Tyler Kratzer of North Hall Wrestling and Dylan Brock of the Chestatee Grapplers for their tournament wins. Honorable mention, though, to Matt Hollis of Johnson Basketball and J.C. Hampton of East Hall Hoops for going over 1,000 career points. All right, some signings to report. Truett McConnell College has recruited a number of local softball players. Courtney Gearin from North Hall's program has signed on to play for the Lady Bears, along with 3 girls from East Hall, Holly Strickland, Harley Grogan, and Brittany G. Meanwhile, University of Tennessee linebacker A.J. Johnson, a Gainesville alumnus, was named to the Southeastern Conference's all-freshman team. The 6'3", 245-pound Johnson recorded 80 tackles, including 11 versus number 1 LSU and 13 against number 2 Alabama. Gainesville Times named their volleyball coach and player of the year this past Sunday, both from Gainesville. First-year head coach Randy Orr got the coach's nod, and Kaylin Walden, who had a school record 711 assists, got the player's award. Red Elephants had a school record 24 wins and made the state's Elite 8. The year ends for our local Iron Dog powerlifters this weekend in Loganville at the famous Body by George mini-meet. Now, this is a push-pull for benchers and deadlifters. You can just bench press, or you can deadlift, or you can do both. A local tennis squad recently wrapped up a pretty good run. The Sterling on the Lakes unbeaten journey through the Georgia State playoffs in Augusta, going 7-0 to move on to Macon for the sectional championships in October, where they went 5-0 and finished as Southern champions. That earned them a spot in the national championships in Tucson, Arizona, where they lost in the 3rd round but still finished as one of the top 10 teams in the nation out of 2,674 teams. North Hall golfer, 15-year-old Haley Twiggs, was named the Atlanta Junior Golf Association's Player of the Year after finishing the fall season in the top spot for her class. And finally, Haymore's Karate School. Congratulations to them. They racked up at a recent tri-state tournament. The 67 Karatekas brought home 101 trophies, 33 of them first place awards. Not too shabby. That's our show for this week. Join us next week right here for more Hall County Sports. I'm Gary Glenn.
Hi, I'm Rob Bruce. I'm the pastor at McEver Road United Methodist Church. Christmas isn't here yet. As you can see, we've still got it packed away here at the church, as I'm sure you do in your house. But you know that it's on its way. And the funny thing is that we notice, and you probably have friends or maybe yourself suffer from Christmas blues at this time of the year. In fact, if you run a Google search on the term Christmas depression, you'll get over 45 million hits. There's a famous theologian that theorizes the reason for this is that we are so attached to Christmas as a child with feelings of belonging and feelings of fun that when we don't have those as adults that we become depressed. In fact, he goes on to say that the stories of Scrooge and the Grinch actually tell the story of what happens to us now as adults really better than almost the Bible. Not exactly, but almost. Well, in light of that, if you're feeling a little bit blue this Christmas, we're inviting you to come to our church, McEver Road United Methodist, and participate with us in an Advent sermon series from November 27th till Christmas Eve. The series will be on dealing with Christmas depression as seen through the eyes of the Grinch when it's laid next to the Christmas story. And that'll be at all 3 services, November 27th, through Christmas Eve. The title of the series is Somehow or Other It Came Just the Same, and somehow or other these decorations will be in the church then. Why don't you come and see?